Get him to the surface.
Yeah.
What's that feet one? The raccoon one?
Yeah, just tape anything.
And I can remember a lot. These last couple of years, I forget. But I don't forget the past, but I forget what happened. Older again, I forget what happened 10 minutes ago on some things. Just forget.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
I keep telling Connie, I just forget. But so far, I've been taking my medicine pretty good, but she sorts it out, and I'll eat it. I'll swallow it down.
So will the nurse come back on Thursday?
Huh?
The nurse comes twice a week? The nurse comes twice a week? The nurse?
Oh,
Twice a week?
twice a week, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why they just don't come once, but they come twice. That one today was a new one.
That's what she said.
And she said she'd given birth to a child about 5 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's the first time I'd seen her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So she just come out of the woods.
Yeah.
She just come out of the woods. The other nurse, generally, probably 3, 4, 5 times in a row, same nurse come, but this one today, she's different. I mean, she
Yeah, new.
first time she been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your phone?
I'm not good at here. Oh, I guess I should go check it, huh?
Mm-hmm. So tell us some childhood memory that's funny.
Do what?
Tell us some childhood memory that's funny.
A childhood memory?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, tell them about riding your horse.
riding a horse?
That one you rode, the black one with no saddle.
Yeah. Yeah. I had there's a guy come along, a couple of men come along, and they had 2 or 3 horses and a colt, a black colt. And he was scabby. I mean, he wasn't worth a hoot. He just didn't like he'd ever mounted up. And so this guy told Dad, said, this, of course they knew that Dad knew horses pretty well, so they said, can you tell us what we might do to get this colt straightened out? Yeah, I can tell you. So he did it, and the colt come out of it and started getting slick hair and spilling out, and I get where I could ride him, and he was black as that chair, slick black, and so we'd get so used together. I mean, I'd open the barn door, and he was in there by loose without a halter, and I'd open the door, or he heard me a-coming. He opened the door, and when I opened the door, he'd run out. But he knew that I'd catch his mane when he come out. So he'd catch his mane, I'd catch his mane, and he turned to the right, which he knew I would. I knew he would, and it swung me off out. I went out like a pendulum, and then he run on down. I mean, fast, and I run along there, and he outrun faster than I could. But I'd brace my feet and
Jump?
Get started, and I'd jump on his back. And when I got on his back, holding his mane, I got on the back, and then there was a barbed wire fence there with a gate, barbed wire gate. And he'd jump over that, and then my little brown dog, had a brown dog, I think his name was Scotty, a little brown dog, and we get over, he'd jump over that, and I was on his back, and we'd jump over there, and he'd stop. But I didn't have no bridle on him. I just hold my hands out, and he'd know what I meant. I'd turn right or turn left. So, we'd stop, and that dog would jump on my foot. He was short-legged. Jump on my foot, and then he'd jump up to get up here. And then we'd ride, and he was ready, and we'd ride hard. Well, the hound dogs got fox dogs. They run fox, and they run those fox, and the fox came out, and when they came out so far, then it was about half a mile or 3/4 of a mile. They had to run out in the open, these foxes. Well, the dogs would run those fox by, and my horse Rex and the brown dog, and we'd run, and then we heard those dogs barking. We know about what time those dogs would be bringing that fox up there. You couldn't see none of them. You wanted to hear the dogs, you couldn't see the fox. Well, there was a hard trail on him, and he didn't want to get out in that open, but he didn't have no choice. There was 3 or 4 dogs behind him, so he had to move. And so he went out there in the open field from here to the crossroads or further. He went out there, and when he did, I was on that Rex on that black horse, no bridle, no rope, and that black horse knew what was going to do. And when those foxes come out, we took off. And that horse could run as fast as those foxes. And he ran real fast. But I'd stop, and that dog would jump off my foot, and then on up here, and he'd sit up here, and I didn't hold him. I didn't have no saddle, no bridle. And that horse would lay into it. And that fox would come out, and if there happened to be any moisture on the grass, the fox's tail gets wet, and it slows them down. So we'd get up there and get just right, know about where the dogs were, about where the fox was, and we'd get all set. The horse was ready, and the dogs was ready, and so here the fox come out, and we took after the fox. He couldn't turn around because the dogs was after it, and he had to come out in that open, and then he ran from here to the crossroads down there just as hard as he could go. But if the grass is wet, his tail get wet and hold him down, and he'd tire out easier. Well, when he tired out some, the dog would jump off and start pulling hair out, eating on him. Yeah, he'd pull hair out. The fox could outrun the dog, but the fox was already wore out.
Yeah.
And the dog wasn't. So that dog would catch a ball of hair and tear that hair out, and he'd catch another one. And
so did you take the fox home? Did you take the fox home?
No, we never killed it.
Oh, you never killed it?
No, it's kind of a sport.
Yeah, game.
So the horse, he enjoyed it just as well as I did, and the dog enjoyed it. But the dog was short-legged, and he couldn't run nobody's near as fast. But we get that fox to get slowed down, that dog jump off on my foot and back on the ground, and he'd start biting in that fox and pulling hair out. And that fox was doing all he could do, and that horse was staying right with him. The horse didn't run too fast. He didn't have no halter on. The horse knew what was going on as well as I did, and he living it up just like I was. And we'd run those foxes there. Of course, we didn't catch them, didn't want them, but there was a lot of fox hunters then. And so we got that. But every time those foxhounds, sometimes they'd get loose in the daytime, and they generally hunt them at night. But dogs get loose at night, and you hear, ooh, ooh, here they come. So this is broad daylight, and that horse, he'd hear those dogs running, and I'd run out there. He opened the barn, he heard me coming, and I opened that door, and here he come out. He had a big long mane, and I'd catch that mane,